Medical Sciences, Mr. Abhinandan Pandey, State Head, ICT Academy. We welcome our esteemed guests. Now I am pleased to invite Mr. Abhinandan Pandey to share his experience in the tech industry. Mr. Pandey is State Head, ICT Academy, which is in the mission to strengthening India's 4 important visions of Skill India, Digital India, Startup India, and Makeup India. So please welcome.
Respected VC sir, Dean sir, under their absentia, Dr. Seema, faculty members from various departments, all the students who are present here. Good afternoon to everyone. So, when Dr. Seema asked the question that how many are from faculty of technology, I think majority 99% I believe is from that department, faculty of technology only. Last year, I believe this department was started, and for us, in the sense ICT Academy, this is the first interaction with you all who are sitting here. So I will take hardly 1 minute to introduce that what exactly ICT Academy do and how we are benefiting the students who are especially from technological domain. Not only technological domain, they may be from other domains, art and science and other criteria as well. So basically ICT Academy is an initiative of Government of India with the support of state government and corporate who works specially to bridging the gap between industry and academia. That is why you, the students who are sitting or faculties who are sitting here, you are from the academic part, and the people who are sitting in this side, they are from the industry side. They will give the insight that what exactly industry is looking in all the aspects, not only technology. We have the people from entrepreneurship related thing, we have people from innovation. If you are aspire to become the next generation innovator or next generation entrepreneur, their inputs will help you that how you can grow, how you can get the fundings, how technology are going to shape our future. These things you are going to hear from the people who are sitting here from industry. And one more thing just want to share, since we are sitting here, the place name is Maharshi Kanad Bhavan. Am I right? Yes, sir. So do you know who is Kanad or who was Kanad, Maharshi Kanad? Anyone can tell me? I think 6ठी 7वीं क्लास में हम सब ने पढ़ा था, right? Yes. Please. Yeah, great. Congratulations to you. The atom, you can sit down. The idea of atom was given by Maharshi Kanad, which at that time when he gave that idea, it was the, atom was the smallest, I would say, particle of any kind of element. Now we have electron, proton and neutron, many things are there on the basis of that theory. Science evolved, and now we have a lot of things which we are studying during our engineering and other things. So the entire purpose of this initiative to organize this event or interacting with you all, that to tell you that what exactly government is doing, what exactly corporate is doing, since we are the aspire or upcoming workforce. And I would like to tell you the upcoming entrepreneurs or innovators. Surely you will have lot of ideas, and you want the support from the people who are sitting here. Their thoughts will also enhance or make you feel better that yes, in that particular domain or area you want to pursue it. Their inputs will help you to grow and enlighten your mind. With this thought, I just want to initiate this particular seminar, and next our speakers will come to share their thoughts with you. You may ask the question. There will be 2 separate sessions. First will be the keynote with this speaker, and the second session will be panel discussion. During the keynote, they will share their thoughts, and during panel discussion, it will be open for Q&A. You may ask your queries as well. Thank you all. Let's start.
Thank you. you, sir, for your knowledgeable information about Maharshi Kannar. Now I would like to invite Mr. Subhajit Bhattacharya to talk on AI and future tech. Mr. Subhajit is a seasoned IT professional having a tenured experience, technology evangelist, entrepreneur, thought leader, startup mentor, author, life coach, and public speaker. He has driven strategic initiatives with the key responsibilities to orchestrate innovation and automation programs within the span of artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, data analytics, cloud computing, DevOps, and robotic process automation. Sir, please.
On that laptop. Charge me up, then also charge me. Thank you. Yeah. Do you have mic as well? Mic? Okay. Portable mic? Okay. Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. You must have taken your lunch. No, not yet. ये तो नाइंसाफी हो गई. Okay, I was scared, like you must have taken your lunch. Now you must be feeling sleepy, so I have to make something very much interesting so that like I can very well keep you all engaged throughout this session. First of all, thanks a lot to Delhi University, the organizing committee, faculty members, ICT Academy, and you all as audiences, because without you, this session would not have been succeeded. So today, I have been asked to talk on the technologies and all. I thought like, what should I start with? And therefore, I took the name as Take a Ride. Let's ride into the technology, technology ride. Let's talk like this. So before I should proceed with the today's session, I want to show you a quick video of just 1 minute, and it would be very much insightful for you because you all are aspiring to get quite a good job after maybe 3 or 4 years after completion of your degree.
With every industrial revolution, there's been a new change to master. During the fourth industrial revolution, this was digitization and connectivity. But as the fifth fast approaches, we're going to need intelligence. Intelligence is the driving force of change in industry today. It has created new kinds of disruption, but most importantly, new opportunities. It has brought new life to physical machinery and connected products, allowing us to digitize manufacturing and operations and to create software-enabled products and product platforms. Those who can master this intelligence will redefine how companies, technology, and people work. They will transform the core of their business, changing how they make things and the very things they make. They will design things smarter, engineer things safer, manufacture things faster, produce things sustainably, service things remotely, and ultimately make things better. We call this Industry X, embedding intelligence to help industry thrive in the face of constant change. We improve performance across manufacturing, automated operations, and worker safety. Within engineering and R&D, we reduce the time and cost to design and develop the next generation of intelligent products and platforms. This is how we help industry do more with less, grow at scale, keep people safe, and ensure a sustainable future. Industry X, transforming the way the world makes things and the things it makes.
So basically, we are moving towards the next generation of industry, and somewhere or other, industry plays a very crucial role while influencing our life, our lifestyle. And over the ages, we have very much witnessed like how things got changed and how our lives got changed as well, along with the technology. There was a time, so I'm just taking, just in the interest of time, I will cover lots of things. So just I'm taking one example, which you can very well relate, I believe. There was a time when people used to, having a telephone in a house, people used to feel that it's a luxury. And hardly, even in a colony, hardly one or two people used to have a telephone line at their home. But today, if you see, like every person does carry a mobile phone. And now, just think like you have to spend your 1 month without mobile phone. Just complete 1 month without mobile phone. You will use mobile phone just for maybe for 5 or 10 minutes in a day. Thereafter, you are not going to use your mobile phone. Maybe whether you will worry or not doesn't matter. Maybe your parents may get worried because you might be staying in your hostel or somewhere outside your home. They might be worried like why you are not reachable. This is how that wish has got converted into want, and over a period, as the technology has changed, that want has converted into the need. That is the transformation that has happened because of the technology, because of the influence of the technology. I have given some examples like the way communication has got changed, the way VR, AR, or maybe I would say entertainment industry has got changed, the intelligent e-commerce platforms, lots of things over here, even like the in the BFSI segment, the credit scoring, fraud detection, loan recommendation, all this thing has got changed because of the technologies. Even like in the healthcare segment, I believe Mr. Rahul will cover this one in detail. But in the healthcare segment as well, like we are using technology in order to perform various surgeries or maybe to transport medicines from one place to another place. Lots of things are going on, happening. Even in the like nowadays, like we have smart-driven like autonomous cars and all these things, even like software-driven vehicles. So lots of things are there, and when we integrate all these things into one zone, we normally call it as like things are getting smarter, and that basically gives you gives the foundation of this smart city. In the smart city, when we call something as a smart city, that means like the gadgets, the people, all are interconnected to each other. So today, say for example, simple example, if you are carrying your smartwatch, that is automatically connected to your mobile phone as well. Say in case a call is coming onto your mobile phone, you don't have to bring your mobile phone out of your pocket. Rather, you can very well watch your wearable device, that is watch, and you can very well see like whose call is coming, and you can receive or reject the call without using your mobile phone. Therefore, like what I would say over here, like technology is changing, and this session I am not focusing upon whether you are from computer science, whether you are from electrical or electronics or mechanical, because it is all about the technology, and it is completely up to you how you are using the technology as an enabler in your respective field. So maybe those who are from electronic background, they will be placed into some electronic like the organizations which are working onto the electronic gadgets. So you can use technology as per the requirement within that particular segment. Those who are from electricals, they will be using technology as per their scope of work. Even those who are from computer science and all, they will be using the technology as per their scope of work. But technology nowadays is being used as an enabler. It is not the core function. It is completely up to you. If in case you are going to develop some product as such, or you are doing some project work or research work, it is quite possible. Otherwise, we are using technology nowadays as an enabler overall. Now, as I was talking about the Industry X, there are certain things from where we basically call like whether an industry can be clubbed under the Industry X segment or not. And from there are certain things which basically help an industry to be recognized as Industry X or not. So first of all, it should be end-to-end ERP enablement. So an industry or an organization must be enabled with the end-to-end ERP system. It should be digitally interconnected, agile transformation. The leadership must have a strategy for the speed to market, because there is already quite a good number of competition is there. It is the competitive market is there. So in order to ensure that you must get the right place in the market at the right time for the right people, it is very much important to ensure that you should have a potential to bring your product and the services on the market as soon as possible. Digital twins, industrial Internet of Things, advanced analytics, POV and POC simulation, robotic automations, software-driven infrastructure and assets, digital manufacturing, product productions and operations, intelligent assets management, data-driven process, data-led intelligence, AI at core, wearable devices for digitally remote monitoring and operations, intelligent supply chain management process, robust cybersecurity and vigilance, and finally, innovation and continuous improvement. This innovation plays an important role overall. I would say like it is a horizon, and in that horizon there are several departments, several technologies that are going on, and innovation is always evolutionary in itself, because it's not that like, okay, today I have come up with an idea and I have implemented that one, now I will take the back seat. It's all about like, I have come up with an idea, now today I have implemented this one based upon the feedback. So you have to also be open to receive the feedback. It is not always about the positive feedback. It could be the feedback wherein like you can take the feedback to further enrich your product or the services that you are going to, that you are basically providing to the end user, end customer, end consumer, whosoever be. But you should be very much open to take their ideas, take their viewpoints, so that you can bring some better idea, and with that idea you can bring further more innovation in your organization or in your deliveries, overall deliveries. When we talk about the industry, future industry, from future industry perspective, we are working on these major technologies. So those who are interested, who are basically looking forward to get into future industry specific activities, you can very well look into this cloud, wherein like we talk about everything as a service. It's not about now software as a service or infrastructure as a service or platform as a service. Rather, we call it as everything as a service, because it could be data, it could be even APIs. Everything nowadays is acting as a service. Then data-driven intelligence, wherein like we are working on big data, advanced analytics, blockchain, artificial intelligence, computer vision, natural language processing, NLP. And I believe like most of you must be using your Google Assistant or maybe Siri or so forth. So all these things are basically an example of this natural language processing, wherein you can talk in your own natural language, your own native language, and system will basically get to know, okay, say for example, Alexa, you give a command to Alexa, and Alexa basically, go ahead and execute your command based upon, say for example, if you are asking Alexa to play a song of your favorite singer, it basically understands like what exactly you are asking for, what is the command, and what command to be executed, what action to be taken based upon the command. So those things can very well be done through this natural language processing. And on top of that, at industrial side, we have intelligent robotic arms, industrial Internet of Things, smart drones, smart tracking system, and immersive reality and metaverse. I believe like you must have heard about metaverse. Anyone of you? Just raise your hand. Okay, great. So anyway, like after this session, we will be open to take your questions and all, and I will be more than happy to answer you on your queries around all these technologies in case you have any. If you ask me like why these organizations are basically looking into these technologies, why organizations are investing so much of money to bring these technologies into their work, into their operations, into their day-to-day operations? The reason is simple. First of all, ultimately, if you have your own organization, you will see like whether you can launch your product at right time or not, whether the products can be developed in a very optimal way, at a low cost, at the same time, the quality must be at par with your competitors. And again, you have to also see like whether you can retain the customers while showing the differentiation factor, what you are basically delivering to them as a product or maybe as a service. So these are some of the, I would say, some of the reasons or some of the value add services which the technologies can give to the organizations who are using these emerging technologies. So for example, improved productivity, improved quality, revenue growth, cost avoidance, improved service delivery, cognitive, secured, resilient and sustainable business growth. High agility leads to business growth and long-term client engagement, reduced or optimized cost overhead, that is the capex part, that is the capital expense. So like for every organization basically, like there are two types of expenses that they have to incur. One is the capital expense, whatever be the assets that I have to onboard, whatever be the assets that I have to procure. These are the capex, capital expenses. At the same time, there are certain operational expenses as well. Like in order to use these assets, we have to hire people. Again, we have to also ensure like how we can maintain these assets. So there are certain costs that is already involved on that. So again, like we have to also check from their side, from organization side, how we can optimize these capex and opex. Then effort optimization, time saving, better resource optimization and utilization, solution readiness, innovation warehouse for pre-sales, future client engagement, unparalleled user experience and client savings and improved client satisfaction index. Because ultimately it is your client who is responsible to ensure that whether your business will be continued throughout or not. Because sustainability, one of the components of this sustainability is your own customers. If your customer is not satisfied, if your customer is not happy with the services or the products that you are delivering to them, then in that case, one thing is sure, that your business will not continue for a longer time. And in this, like, as I said, like technology plays an important role overall. Another part is the bot. How many of you have heard about bot or RPA? RPA? No? Robotic process automation. This is one of the, it is not, I would not call it as an emerging technology. It is already there since, I would say, around a decade, in fact. And most of the organizations are giving a lot of focus onto developing the RPA bots. Why? The reason is simple. The bots can very well perform all the redundant or mundane activities that are being performed by the human being. It can very well mimic the human action digitally. And that is the reason the overall, this particular workforce, virtual or digital workforce, is in the rise. You must have heard, like in the recent past, that layoff is going on and all these things. It's not about whether the resources were good or not. It's not about that one. We are replacing that L1 support, L2 support with the help of the bots. These are replacing. So bots are basically replacing the first-hand job, and what we are basically asking the people to get upskilled so that they can secure a better position which they can perform much better than the bots. And when we are talking about the bots, there are certain tasks that can very well be performed by the bots. First of all, and you must have heard about the chat bots, which can very well keep you engaged. In case you have some query, you can very well put your query and it will answer you back. Then the monitoring and alert bots, there could be a simple RPA bots to perform some sort of batch job or maybe scheduled jobs. Event debugging bots, custom bots, and intelligent cognitive bots. There are several types of activities that we normally perform in our day-to-day life, wherein like for which we need technical resources. Now, if it is possible to get those activities be performed by the bots, because bots do follow this step, sequential step. First ye hoga, second ye hoga. It's a kind of algorithmic steps. Ye hoga, ye hoga, ye hoga. Now you can call it as a flow chart. We can very well deploy the RPA bots, but there are situations wherein the bots may fail. At that point, we need the experts who should sit behind the bots and who can control the bots. And that is the reason it is very much like, in case you are interested, I would always suggest to go for such kind of training, maybe onto RPA. And if you ask me what are all the technologies that come under this RPA, you can go for UiPath, you can go for Automation Anywhere, Blue Prism, Microsoft Flow. There are lots of technologies that are already available in the market. You can take one of them and you can upskill yourself. And it's very easy to learn as well. Now, while we have talked about the technology, while we have talked about the bots and all these things, there is one culprit behind, and that is the data. It is the data which has basically given a rise to this machine learning, deep learning, AI, blah, 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 all these things. And ultimately, we say that the technology is evolving. And from where the data is coming, it is you who is basically giving the data onto the World Wide Web. Through several sources, there could be several sources from where the information may come, may flow. It could be your public data, social media data, transactional data, censored data, private data, research data, even images, audio, video. We call it as unstructured data, but ultimately these are also data, some sort of data. We do have structured, semi-structured, unstructured, all sorts of data. And in order to evaluate, in order to work around all these sort of data, we have different algorithms, either put under the machine learning or might be put under the deep learning. Ultimately, they all being considered as part of AI, artificial intelligence, because with the help of data itself, you can very well do several predictions. You can take proactive actions. And in fact, your system can prescribe you much beforehand, even if an incident is going to happen or not, so that you can very well avoid any sort of unprecedented event or an incident to happen, or it can impact your business overall. I hope like you must have heard about machine learning. What is machine learning? Just out of curiosity. What is your understanding on machine learning? Any one of you? Yeah, please. Or if you want to help.
Ability of the computer to learn its own, by its own, is called machine learning.
Okay, great. That is one of the concepts, and it is very much right. Anything else from anyone? Any other viewpoint? Just try it out. Any one of you? Okay. As you have said rightly, it's a capability of a machine to learn by its own. But again, machine learning is not about making the system to learn by its own. We basically help the system to learn. Just like we help a baby to learn, we also call it as baby step. Thoda, 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 thoda. And in the same way, we have come up with several different algorithms within machine learning itself. Supervised, unsupervised, and yours is reinforcement, wherein the system will learn by its own. Maybe there will be algorithms, but how system is learning ultimately, it is all about the data. What sort of model that we are proposing as part of the supervised or unsupervised or reinforcement learning, and beyond the model, what are all the data that we are supplying to the system so that the system or the machine can start learning by its own. And then after that, when we try the system with some trial data, it will basically analyze those data with its own learning, and then it will say whether it will basically predict whether something is going to happen, or whatever be the query that you are firing. Based upon that query, it will basically answer you. But like everything is revolving around the data only. So data is very much, very, very crucial at the end of the day. One thing I would like to cover over here is the data analytics, because many of you might be interested into data analytics, data science, all these things, and certainly while we are talking about the data science, it is basically a combination of everything, like whether we are talking about the machine learning, whether we are talking about the deep learning, all these things, along with this data analytics. So data, and with data analytics, I've also said BI, that is business intelligence. It is a subset of AI, artificial intelligence. Now suppose you have a data, and even before I should get into the data, let me start with the data only. When you have data, you can see or you can analyze the data in two different ways. Either retrospectively, आपके पास data already है, I am just looking into the historic data and I will take an action or I will take a decision. Or otherwise, you make the data so enriched that the system will start predicting and prescribing you. If you take an example, if you want me to give an example of this, just suppose you have visited a doctor. You may have fever, pain in your आपके शरीर में आपका वो है, दर्द वगैरह है. You will explain all these things to the doctor, isn't it? After explaining the doctor may have written all these things on his paper. Then he may ask you to go for some sort of testing. You will go to the diagnostic center. You will do the blood test and all those things, and you will share your this report with the doctor. With that report, doctor will basically predict. Most likely the person might have been affected with malaria or maybe dengue or whatsoever be. That is the prediction. And based upon the prediction, he will basically prescribe. These are the medicines that you should take. And most likely, you will get cured in next 1 or 2 weeks. You should go for a complete bed rest. This is what about the business analytics. With the help of data itself, I have just taken a normal example, but again, when it comes down from business perspective, it is the data that talks about your future prediction, your future prescription, both of them, so that you should transform yourself from reactive to predictive. So this is very much reactive, because you are referring to this historic data and then referring back, like looking into the historic data, you are working onto it. But this is more of a prediction part. I'm running out of time. Okay. May I take just 5 minutes more? Okay. One important thing over here is so far I have talked about the data and all, but today we are talking about the data atoms. Data atoms is the smallest particle of the data that is being used in order to get further more information around different sorts of data that we are getting out of this World Wide Web. With these data atom, we are trying to correlate two different atoms to each other so that like we can get further depth into the data, and following to that we can bring out further more information around, and which can be helpful for businesses, for even for in case you are coming up with your own idea, how to further cultivate the idea in such a way the idea can be molded as a working model, something like that. So all these things can very well be done with the help of the data atoms. Generative AI, I believe like you are already aware, like it is a kind of AI, but it is more of like AI is more about automating the thing. Generative AI is more about giving you some sort of creative output out of it. So with the help of generative AI, the system can very well generate different sorts of paragraphs, narratives, I would call, or it could be images, it could be videos, it could be audios, lots of things, and even it has its own negative aspect as well, just like a deep fake. Nowadays, you must have heard about the deep fake and all these things. So this is also, but it is again part of the generative AI. And if you ask me, Where does it fall? Generative AI. Although for this generative AI, we normally develop large language models or large language model transformers, but ultimately it falls under the deep learning concept. Maybe I'm not sure. Like I believe like I'm already running out of time. Just telling you like what are all the future technologies that are coming on your way in next few decades. Autonomous software-driven vehicles, 360-degree movie entertainment, hyper-automated manufacturing through robots, interconnected smart devices, liquid computing and sky computing. Sky computing is again like it's a kind of the elevated computing from this cloud computing. Then products, immersive experience, robotic surgeries and transplantations, virtual intelligent retail stores, real-time offender busters, virtual time travel, and finally, one card, one identity. So, I think, ma'am, we will be having the question answer session at the end. Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, while you are watching this video, if you have any question, please do ask me. Any question from anyone? Yeah.
Hello.
ERP is basically enterprise resource planning. So earlier, like every organization does have different departments. Now it may happen that every department may have different I would say autonomous applications that are going on, and at the end we are integrating those information either manually or with the help of some other technology. ERP basically says like how we can integrate all these departments digitally so that the information that will flow from one department to the other department, it should be seamless. There will be proper transparency and there should not be any discrepancy rather. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, sure.
Sir, why should humans help like to transfer the ability of intelligence into like other machines and all stuff? Like this will only replace humans.
No, it is not about replacing the humans. It's you can take an example of what was the purpose of inventing the wheel. उसकी ज़रूरत क्या थी? पैर तो है 11 नंबर की गाड़ी.
But it will replace humans, right?
No, it will not replace. It has never replaced human. It is basically asking the humans to get upskilled.
But technically you are saying like that,
If,
for example,
Huh.
you are doing this job. If I can bring another AI bot which is exactly like you, then you are not needed. I am asking you to
it will
upskill
not
your-
replace me. It will basically warn me. This is the time you should upskill yourself. Now,
Are
it
you
is up
okay
to me.
with that saying that you are not needed here and we can?
I am not at all threatened. And the same thing I would also like to convey to you all. Please don't get threatened of this technology. It is your friend actually. It is basically helping. It is basically motivating you. Upskill yourself so that you can find your own place in the organization. You will be at the top.
But like you are saying that you are taking away the places and then saying that take on the remaining places. Like then you are saying it's not needed. We don't need like for them machines to take our place. We are okay without machines.
We are okay without machine, it's
Like-
fine. But again, when it comes down to the productivity, when it comes down to the reachability, agility, the way we can transform ourselves, somewhere or other we need help of technology. As I said, like technology is being used as an enabler.
So you don't think there should be any limit to which they can take our place and
There is so like we call it as responsible AI. There is a limit.
so what
It
should
should
be,
be
the limit?
responsible.
What should be the limit for it to take our abilities? Like are you okay with it taking your abilities and replacing you? And
It is not about me or something. It can replace me. It can replace anyone. Even it can replace even Mr.
So
Ratan Tata as well. So it's not about like whether it is replacing someone. It, as I said, like it is basically telling you that see, like today I am in this version. Tomorrow I am going to this version. It is better for you to upgrade yourself
it
to
is
that
taking
version.
away the place now. Like there is less and less space and more people have to upgrade. So are you okay for theoretically the limit to be like this? There is no place left for humans and AI will take. Are you okay for that future to come? so that there is no place for you to upgrade. Like everything can be done with AI.
See, it is like human beings who are behind any sort of bots, which you can see today, like whether it is generative AI and all. So that phase will never come when the bots will be so strong that it will give you the option whether you would like to upgrade yourself. Otherwise, I will keep the entire field.
So you want some space for yourself, right?
Absolutely.
What
wants.
is that limit like? Behind which you
May-
want to
maybe
stop?
like
I'm
we can
sorry
talk,
to
yeah,
interrupt,
maybe we
but
can-
can we take this
yeah.
in panel discussion?
Yeah, offline, yeah. Okay, thanks a lot for your time and patience. Maybe I will take your questions during these panel sessions. Yeah, thank you.
I'm sorry to interrupt in between, sir.
sure, no, please,
but thank you so much for your such knowledgeable information you have given us. Now I'm honored to invite Ms. Sonam Sharma to speak on data science and automation. She is a data science professional with a demonstrative experience of 13 years in credit risk analytics, customer analytics, product development, digital transformation, and business expansion in lending, banking, and telecom. Please give her a big round of applause.
This also. Thank you. I want to. Hi everyone. I hope you guys still have energy to listen to other sessions. By the way, great talk by Mr. Subhajit. Very insightful, very informative. I hope you guys would have got a lot of insights out of it. And I'm really thankful to him. He has covered a lot of data science as well. So my job has been made easier even without AI. So first of all, I would really like to thank FOT ICT for having me here. And I'm really excited to share my thoughts with you. But I would really request that this session should be interactive, because I'm not here only to share my thoughts. I want to learn along with along with you guys as well. You are the new generation. I think you guys, the way you guys are using AI, the way you guys are interacting with the devices, it has superseded our generation much behind. So I think there's a lot of interaction that can happen along the session, and we can definitely have questions in the panel discussion, but we can keep this session interactive as well. So just to build on what Subhajit said, you have already understood how AI, data science, ML, generative AI, deep learning, all these things are connected, and I'm sure you guys would be working and reading about these concepts in your classroom training and maybe some of your practicals as well. So just to take a step back from what all we have heard, I'll go to little fundamentals here. I just want to ask a simple question. Why do we care so much about data? We have been hearing about data science, and you must have heard data is the new oil. But why do we care about data so much? Anyone? Can we pass on the mic here? Would request anyone who answers to take his name first and then answer. That would be great.
Good afternoon. I am Abhitatha Roy from Cluster Innovation Center. So using data, like for example, we are making a product or we are offering a service. Using data, we can track what the user wants and in what way we can improve our product. Using data, we can study about the efficiency of our service, of our product. So even from a business point of view and also from a service point of view, data is very important.
Thank you so much. I think that was a great idea. Anyone else? Why do we care so much about data? We have a hand here. Okay.
I'm Priyanshu Naskar from FOT ECE. Data is basically a collection and a record that is a record of all past events. It helps in predicting and diagnosing problems, predicting the future, what will be the best step to take for the future and everything. And yeah, that's it.
Thanks for sharing. Cool. So in the interest of time, I'll move ahead. So I think most of the people already know here why data is so important to us, because it helps businesses to take data-driven decisions, right? If I am running a business, if I have my own startup, let's say a small startup, and today I need to take a decision, say which territory I should be focusing on first to launch a new product, right? Let's say I run a skincare company, and there are already a lot of products running in India in different parts. I can see, some parts buying maybe a sunscreen lotion more, some parts maybe buying, maybe a primer more. So there are a lot of skincare products, let's say, that my company already has. Now, if suppose I want to launch a new product and I want to decide which particular city or which particular region in that country I should start my pilot with, which cities or which regions would be more interested in buying that particular product. So I can go and check my data, I can check the retrospective data and see which particular cities or which particular regions or which particular seasons per se in the past data was this type of product most sold. I can then decide, okay, I would choose this particular territory or this particular region or this particular population, age of population, gender, etc. To launch my new pilot so that I get good responses on my pilot. I should have consumers to test my pilot, right? So this was just an example on how data can help you to take data-driven decisions. Another example that you can see on the screen, sorry, I'll use this one. Another example that you can see on the screen, how many of you here have used credit cards? I suppose everyone. Okay, debit cards. Okay, cool, thank you. So, I think sometimes you would have noticed if you use a credit card or a debit card, I'm not sure if that happens in case of debit card, but it should happen. If you do a transaction which is very different from all the past transactions you have done, you get a confirmation call from the bank. Have you noticed that? Why do you get that? Because they are a little skeptical of that transaction. It shouldn't be a fraud, right? I'll give you an example. Let's say I am a customer of a particular bank, and let's say, this person sitting here is also a customer of the same bank. Say most of the time I stay only in Delhi, and at a time I only do transaction not more than 20,000 in one swipe. That is my usual pattern, let's say, in last 2-3 years. But the gentleman here, he travels a lot, let's say. Today he's here, tomorrow he's there. And he usually swipes his card for around 50,000, 1 lakh easily. I'm just taking an example. So tomorrow when I do a transaction from a very remote area or a different city, suppose there's a transaction all of a sudden from Chennai, where I've never been to, and that too of a denomination, say, around 2 lakhs. The bank will be very scared. Who is doing this transaction on behalf of Sonam? But at the same time, if this gentleman goes to Chennai and he has been to Chennai a lot of times and does a transaction of 1 lakh or something, maybe the bank will not be very skeptical because in his data, he has been doing such transactions in the past. So this is what I'm trying to explain, that how data is important. It helps the companies to take customized and personalized decisions. A particular transaction that could have been fraudulent in my case can be a safe transaction in somebody else's case, and vice versa. So data helps to customize that experience as per the customer's past data. Another example, if you see on the screen, let's say you have a restaurant, okay, a big, good chain of restaurant, and in a restaurant, you know, you bring in raw materials, the cooking materials, vegetables, fruits, milk, bread, eggs, stuff like that, which do not have a big shelf life. You can use it on the same day or maybe the next day maximum. Now, how will you decide how much raw material you need to keep in that restaurant on a particular day? It all depends on the demand, right? So you cannot just fixate yourself, okay, I don't want to waste anything, so I will not keep more than this particular quantity of raw materials in my restaurant. Customer aate hain to aate rahe, I don't care. You have not opened your restaurant for that. You have opened your restaurant to serve customers, to generate revenue, right? So you want to serve as many customers as possible. On the other hand, if you fixate yourself saying, I don't want to leave any customer without serving him, no customer should go back. Let me have a lot of raw materials in my stock every time so that no customer is left unserved. If you take that type of strategy, the flip side would be that you will be left, many a times left with a lot of waste, right? You will have to throw away your veggies and all the raw material that's required for cooking. Again, your revenue is going for a toss. So revenue has to be balanced on both the sides, on the demand side as well as the supply side. So how to maintain that optimum balance? You cannot sit with a calculator every day and think, okay, tomorrow how many people will come? I'm talking about a big restaurant, not a small one. So data definitely is required in every type of business nowadays. And that's why data is so important. That's why people say data is the new oil. Now when we say data, just to give some numbers, I have picked these numbers from the internet as some interesting facts. If you look at the numbers, how much data are we exactly talking about? What's the volume of this data? And as Subhajit rightly mentioned, this is the data generated by you guys, by us, by everyone, right? So, interesting fact, if you look at the number of, how many of you use Instagram here? Instagrammers? Okay, great. So, around 347,000 stories posted by Instagram users every minute. I was also very surprised to see this. How many messages shared by Facebook users? If you look at the number of hours of video streamed by Netflix users, if you look at the number of messages shared by WhatsApp users, just look at the humongous amount of data that is getting generated every minute in the world. Now just think how much processing is required by companies like WhatsApp, Facebook, Netflix, Instagram, to understand. Suppose Instagram wants to, you must have seen trends, right, on Instagram. Something is trending. Everybody is posting pictures of this particular thing. How does Instagram get to know what is trending? It has to process all these stories to understand what's trending. How many of you see Instagram Reels? I hope everyone. I also see. So, on Instagram Reels, how many of you have noticed that when you start seeing Reels of a particular type, you start getting Reels of that particular, foray itself. In fact, it goes so specific. Whenever I have to travel somewhere, I recently traveled to a place. I did not know anything about that place because it was a last-minute plan. Instead of going to YouTube, what I did, I searched some Reels. I scrolled through Reels for that place, and I started getting all the Reels of that place. And I was excited to see how wonderful the place was. So, how does Instagram understand what is your taste or what type of stuff you want to go through? Because you are generating that data, you are seeing some Reels or some videos or some posts, liking them, sharing them, maybe saving them. Instagram gets to understand, okay, this is the type of stuff you want to see, and then it generates, or I would say it shares, it showcases the same type of content with you. So this is how the data is processed, understood, analyzed, and then basis that data, Instagram has taken a decision, okay, this is the type of content that I need to show to this user to keep him engaged, because what's Instagram's purpose, aim at the end of the day, that you should not leave Instagram, right? You should be engaged as much as possible. They don't care about your studies. So they want you to be engaged. So they will show you the content that they think you will like the most. Any AI feature, application, anything basic, anyone that, fascinates you a lot or which you find very helpful. ChatGPT, I know everyone is doing homework on ChatGPT nowadays, so that's obvious. But anything else, I mean, ChatGPT you can use for a lot of things, but any specific use case other than doing homework, you are using any AI tool for? Sorry? Can you say one by one?
Ma'am, Google Keyboard, in which it predicts word which you are typing.
Great. Okay. That's very helpful, yeah. Anything else?
Mid-Journey.
Who is that?
Mid-Journey.
What is that?
My name is Bhavya Raj.
Can you explain, elaborate what you do? It's all right.
Actually, Mid-Journey is used to create a different type of pictures and all.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's nice. So, what is it using on the back end?
Ma'am, actually, we provide some text to it, text to the AI, and then it creates images based on that text.
Okay, that's nice. That's amazing. Anything else? No one else is using AI? Okay, we have a hand here.
Ma'am, my name is Raman Rag. Ma'am, I use Blackbox to basically refer if we provide an image, we can provide a text and it will convert the text into the code. For example, if I want a JavaScript code, I will get JavaScript. If, for example, I wrote a simple sentence and I want a code over that, for example, a C code or a C++ code, it will provide me that.
That's amazing. Thanks for sharing that. So we can see that people are really so close to AI now. You don't need to be, a lot of, I don't know what do you say. You don't need to be a proper techie. You don't need to complete all the courses in AI in order to use AI. So AI has really become a general purpose technology now, which everyone, can use whenever they want. Just to cover, I know this is not an exhaustive list. The list will go on. But the industries where AI and data science, machine learning, whatever you call it, is being used a lot. If you look at some examples, healthcare I don't want to go into because I want to leave that section for Dr. Rahul, but e-commerce. How many of you have seen product recommendations on Amazon, Flipkart? Everyone, right? Everyone buys from Amazon, Myntra, Flipkart. Entertainment, Netflix, Amazon Prime. How many of you have watched movies as per the Netflix recommendation and liked it? Any time in your lifetime? And you really liked it? You didn't? Okay. But does it help to give recommendations? If recommendations were not there, do you think it will be very boring to go to Netflix? Right? Social media, I think we have talked a lot about it. Transportation. If I give you an example again on similar lines that we discussed earlier, have you heard about companies like eCart, Delivery, Shiprocket, and there are others as well, right? DHL or something. You have heard about these companies. You must be ordering and they bring in parcels sometimes, right? So now suppose a company like eCart, it wants to deliver parcels. Again, the same dilemma, right? It has to deliver parcels as early as possible to keep customers satisfied, and at the same time it cannot just have all the vehicles and all the trucks and all the delivery people in the world in their company so that no customer is served late, right? They have to maintain a balance. They cannot keep like 100 people delivering to maybe 100 customers. They cannot keep like that. On both the sides, their revenues will be hit. Again, in order to understand, to balance, to maximize their profit and minimize the customer wait time, they have to understand, they have to optimize the resources that they need for delivery at a particular time. Again, an application of data science. Marketing. If you are, doing if you are marketing your product on Instagram, YouTube, social media, anywhere, any form of digital marketing, how would you understand what your relevant audience is? Right? These platforms and the data science itself helps you to funnel down your type of customers. The customers who would be buying your products, who are potentially, in a capacity to buy your product. I'll give you an example. Let's say somebody is in real estate, right? In real estate, now how will I get to know if somebody is a potential buyer of real estate or not? The data goes to a level, even if people are frequent flyers, a person who is flying to a different country a lot, Facebook thinks, and maybe some of the other algorithm thinks that they are good potential buyers to buy a real estate because these people will be having a lot of money. So there's a lot of science and there's a lot of creativity actually that goes behind creating all these algorithms. Moving on, coming back to the example of recommendation, so just wanted to share like a quick, industry example with you. Let's say we have two users on a particular OTT platform. It can be Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney, Hotstar, whatever it is. On a particular OTT platform at a time, let's say we have two users, user A and user B. Okay? User A has watched these movies recently, and in the brackets you can see the ratings they have given to the movies. Matrix, Martian, Ex Machina and Hangover. This person has given 4, 4, 5 to the top three movies, and she has given 2 to Hangover. Sorry to the Hangover fans, please don't get offended, but this is what user A has given. And then we have a user B who comes to this OTT platform and watches Matrix and Martian and gives 4 and 5 respectively. Now, if you want to recommend a movie to user B from a list of movies that user A has watched, which one would you recommend? Sorry? Ex Machina. Why? Can someone answer, please? There's a hand on the back.
Ma'am, when the user A watched these movies and the user B watched first two movies, the algorithm thinks that their interests are similar and their approach to particular things like movies watching and their interests are basically totally similar. So when the user B asks or is willing to watch another movie, then the algorithm of Netflix or YouTube or it will recommend that his interests are particularly similar. And if we want to engage the user on our platform, we must recommend that X machine over there.
That's great. So the OTT platform has understood, as our friend here rightly mentioned, that user B and user A are very similar because of the rating they have given to the movies, right? Because user B has given similar ratings to Matrix and Martian the way user A has given. And because user A has liked Ex Machina along with these two movies, it will recommend the same movie to user B. This is nothing but in industry, when you do it on a large scale, this is called collaborative filtering recommendation engine, which is behind a lot of recommendations that you see on multiple platforms. And you would be surprised to see the numbers. McKinsey has estimated that 35% of what consumers purchase on Amazon and 75% of what they watch on Netflix comes from personalized product recommendations. Just imagine the volume. 75% of what they watch on Netflix comes from recommendations. Now think, if recommendations were not there, what would Netflix do? So this is the power of data science. This is the way data is being used in the industry, and this is how it is helping drive business, the point that we touched based in the first slide. I'll not go into a lot of details because of interest of time. So just to give you a 30-second overview, whenever we used to create, I would say used to create because now generative AI has taken a lot of, model building, but still in machine learning, this is the typical data science life cycle. I think you would read it in maybe some later semester. In short, we collect a lot of data, analyze it, process it, visualize it to understand what the data patterns are, and then clean it because you will never find data in the best form that you can use. Then you create a lot of features out of it. For example, in case of credit card, maybe if you have, in the data, if you have variables like, let's say, your credit card, how much you have spent on your credit card, okay, and you want to understand if this particular person will return the money, will pay back the money to the credit card company or not, will he pay the bill simply or not. If you just put in a feature to the machine learning model saying, okay, this is what we have spent, again giving the same example, let's say if I have spent 50,000 on a credit card versus this person who has spent 5 lakhs on a credit card. If I ask you which person is more risky, what will you say? 5 lakhs, obvious answer, right? But if I give you one more piece of information, that my credit limit is only 80,000 and I have spent 50,000 out of it, but his credit limit is 20 lakhs and he has just spent 5 lakhs. Now who is more risky? I am more risky, right? So we have to create the correct features. If I just give the amount spent on credit card to the model, it will not be able to understand who is risky, who is not risky. We have to teach, as Subhajit rightly pointed out, we have to teach machines in a way that they should understand the data correctly. It is our responsibility to teach them in the right way. The way it is our responsibility to teach our babies in the right way, similarly, it's our responsibility to teach machines in the right way. Once the features have been created, we train the model, deploy it, and then we keep monitoring that model. But now, and I'll skip all this, sorry about it. And now, with the advent of generative AI, ChatGPT, as you guys already know, and with the advent of auto ML tools, this entire data science life cycle has been shortened a lot. Now you don't need to write too much of a code, at least on things which can be solved by LLMs, large language models like ChatGPT. Just a few lines of code to call the API, to set some sort of parameters, configuration, to do some sort of configuration, and you get the output. So the project life cycles have come down a lot with generative AI coming in, with auto ML tools coming in. And what does it lead to? How does it help us? The time to market, how many of you know what's time to market? Time to market means how much time do you need to create a product and then put it onto market. Simple. So time to market has reduced a lot because now, techniques like auto ML tools, generative AI, they have helped reduce the data science life cycle a lot. And now in future, I mean in very near future, we will see a lot of shift in focus. A lot of prompt engineers are now, evolving. You must be hearing that there is a new job role now, prompt engineers, which was not there before. Because you have to write the prompts correctly, creatively, in a way that ChatGPT understands you well in order to give the right output. So from complex codes, we are shifting to an era of prompt engineering. Companies are now focusing more on what to make rather than how to make. Because how karne ke liye ChatGPT hai, right? So they are just focusing on what to do rather than understanding how to do. Just a simple message on this slide. ChatGPT, if you look at this graph, ChatGPT just took 5 days to reach 1 million users. As compared to, say, Netflix, which took 3.5 years to reach 1 million users. If you look at other examples, Instagram, it took 2.5 months to reach 1 million users. But ChatGPT just took 5 days to reach 1 million users. What does it mean? That ChatGPT and in short AI has now become a general purpose technology. If you compare AI with things like computer, when computer came, people were very skeptical. I think there was a question from somebody here, can AI replace humans and all that. When computer came, we had same questions, right? I think most of you were very young, you were kids that time, but similar debate was there at that time when computers came. Will it replace humans? But no, right? So, similarly, AI is also now becoming a general purpose technology which can be used by anyone and everyone. For example, you guys are using ChatGPT to do your homework. I am using ChatGPT to write my emails. So you will start using it. In fact, we have started using it in our day-to-day lives without realizing that we are using AI. Again, I think Subhajit has already covered a lot of it, so I'll not go into the details. Future of data in AI, but again, I would just like to focus on the last message in blue here, responsible AI. Although AI is now able to do a lot of stuff, and in future also it will be able to do even more stuff than what's possible right now, but we definitely have to attach a layer of ethics, responsibility, human values to it, so that, you know, we are not, what do you say, there are a lot of cyber crimes, for example, now, deep fakes, as we just heard about, right? So we don't want all those things to happen, so we definitely need to attach some guidelines, some guardrails, some security laws as a layer onto the data science, AI, Gen AI and everything in order to make it human friends and not against us. I think this is a simple stat that in 34%, this is a survey by IBM, in 34% of the companies when they were surveyed, they said they are not able to work on AI because they have limited AI skills, expertise or knowledge. This is a report by IBM. So I think this gives a very good message that how much place there is reserved for you guys in the industry to go and work. So all the very best with that. Thank you so much for hearing me out.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for sharing your information with us. Now, I'd like to invite Mr. Sagar Radhi to talk on tech-led future workforce development. Mr. Radhi is an HR professional with a decade of experience in field of HR business partner, L&D and generalist for IT and BPS consulting with a 360-degree talent view. He's a storyteller, visualizer, marketing and research capabilities, and leading with ethics, empathy, and resilience.
Hello. Hi, good evening everyone. Okay, so enough technology. Now I want to take you in the next 15 minutes to the other side of the conversation. Any one of you remember what is our topic of discussion today? Future? Okay, I'm not able to understand. If one of you can quickly take mic and say, quickly. You want to say loudly? Yeah.
Future of work
And Society 5.0. So maybe that part you could read. So Society 5.0 is a new concept which Japan is going to launch. And my presentation and my talk for the next 15 minutes is more focused on that perspective. So this is gonna be very interesting. And we have to do a lot of exercise. Keep your notepad and pen ready. If you don't have, take it out quickly. Okay, very simple question, and I don't need a binary answer, yes or no. How many of you think that can machine think like human? And I think there was one person who asked the question, I think he left. So maybe he was not finding it interesting, right? It's okay. What do you think? Is it yes, no? How many of you say yes? Just raise your hand. Okay. How many of you say no? Okay, so you are saying machine can't think like human. And is there anyone maybe? No? That means it's a binary discussion. But you didn't raise any hand. So you're maybe, right? Okay, I want that, thing. So do you agree? I think this is something which my previous panelists have already done. I want to start with this exercise, okay? So read this question and then take 15 seconds, think about it, the answer, and then raise your hand. And then a mic will come to you. Sarah was asked to brainstorm some solutions in order to save her company some extra money this quarter. This is a problem statement. Tell me what Sarah can do to save some extra money for her company. Yes, quickly. And you should be very loud. You don't need to wait for mic. First, raise your hand. Very good. You will become a very good HR. And people should block you also. And I will pray you will never become HR. So you understood the irony, but very good answer. Layoff is a practical answer. We should not go away from that. Very good. Implementation of latest technology. How it will save cost? Technology is very expensive. Whatever your previous panelists said, do you know how much investment a company has to do to implement AI solution? It's very costly, right? Am I right? Yes.
So जैसे old system था, old computers, old machine लगी थी, वो ज़्यादा electricity खा रही थी, और सर efficiency नहीं थी, तो उसको change कर देंगे.
Very good. I was not aware machine needs electricity, but that's nice. Good. Yes, quickly. Yeah, anyone, just raise hand, stand up and say, don't wait for mic. We don't want to waste time. I have to finish in 15 minutes.
First, the user needs to plan the cost. Basically starting, they have to make a list of what their expenses are going. Like first make a list and plan what are their expenses, like what amount are HR, what amount their electricity is going, what amount their finances are making and all. First make a list, then check what are the important checklists that the company needs to require, and then check what are the non-important lists, like we can negotiate on them. Then plan the negotiable skills and then decide to basically cost.
Very good. It was a 1 mark question and you answered 5 marks answer. Very good. Yes, you were saying something. Very good. But again, very generic answer. I need a pointed answer. For example, he said very boldly, lay off kar do. Yes. Oh, stand up and say.
Sarah should start working hard.
Okay. Sarah is already working hard, bro. She is already putting so much effort, right? Okay, yes. Very good. This is, now I'm getting some sensible answer. What's your name? Arshdeep. So Arshdeep has a very good point. Why don't we implement work from home policy so that we can cut short travel time to office, and that is environment friendly also? Any other sensible answer you can give to Sarah? What advice she should follow? Okay, so I'll come back to you. See, this is, for such kind of problem, there is no right or wrong answer. It's more about how we develop our problem solving capability muscle. And this is something what differentiate between you and a machine. Sometimes, maybe machine can think of very well, but lot of aspects where a human critical thinking power can make a difference, what will identify you and differentiate you with machine. Otherwise, you will end up losing job to automation. So this is a future of work. Now, because I'm preferably in an IT sector, but manufacturing setup, other setup, they work in a offshore setup. but majority of the companies are working in a revised model where you may be asked to work from anywhere. You may be asked to work along with the machines. It can be done in a remote work, collaborated work, gig workforce. You know gig workforce? What is gig workforce? G-I-G. Somebody said correctly. So it's all these part-time workers, like you can take 2 to 3 assignments in a day. But there is a very famous, recent one concept came which was kind of saying that gig workshop or maybe taking multiple jobs and offers is not good, which is moonlighting, right? That where you can't take more than 2 offers. But if you want to work as a freelancer, you could do that. What is the best advantage of it? That 4 hours you work on something where you can earn, and 4 to 5 hours you can deploy on something which you are passionate about, which drives you energy, right? So this is how the future of work and part-time, full-time, all these combinations will work. These are the top 10 skills. Most of them have already, that this is something are the areas which can get you a good job 1 year, 5 years down the line, because these are the emerging areas. These are the top skills as per the World Economic Forums on which you have to focus upon. But if you see, 60 to 70% skills are more related to the human-centric approach, for which we are going to talk about more in detail. So these are the future jobs like IoT specialist, business development specialist, AI ML specialist, digital marketing, big data. And because of the information, because of the advent of lot of data part, obviously data security, privacy, all these things also will become a major job profile. But that doesn't mean that you can't switch it, right? If suppose you are I heard some of you are in electrical phase, there are a lot of free platforms which are available on YouTube or your Udemy, Coursera, from where you can do the certification, and that can put you, at least give you the basic knowledge to start any career in any track, right? But if you want to stick to the same track, technical knowledge is very important. And you have to learn coding, you have to ensure that you know all the processing work. But what is more important is these skills. And I want to spend more time on this part because being an HR, this is something is what my expertise. And most of you may find it's very relevant ki, "Arey kya hai? We are creative. Just we are wearing hoodie, we are wearing some necklace, something, we are looking innovative, we are creative," right? That's how we have to really define the definition of all these things, right? And that differentiate you. Today finding somebody who is innovative is the most toughest skill which you could find. You can easily find somebody who knows data science, who knows AI, who knows ML, but these skills what differentiate you, and that's a concept of Society 5.0, which Japan is saying, right? That after a lot of industry revolution, we all are facing lot of challenges, be it safety, security, the existence of humankind is now in a question. And many of you, generally when I deliver this thing, first question comes up, will AI replace jobs? Are we losing our job? Answer is yes, answer is no. Maybe if that question comes up during a panel discussion, then I can explain why I'm saying yes and why I'm saying no as well, right? So these are the thinking, power, active learning, listening, flexibility. These are very important. What do you mean by resilience? It's a plain English word and you can Google also. What do you mean by resilience? Sorry? Perseverance. Very good. What else? Can you give me one example? So COVID is a beautiful example, right? We all are sitting here. Did you imagine that you will live after 2019 or 2020? Somebody said yes, he should get an Oscar award. But in the April 2020, I think everybody, all of us had this apprehension, what will happen next? Because COVID gave us that challenge. And the only reason we survived because we were resilient. And now we are even at a very fastest growing phase. Do you have that capability? That's how we have to develop. And that's what we have to think through, right? So career-wise, your career path could be linear, it could be horizontal, it could be a disaster career graph like mine also. I always say that I'm the best example of a worst career trajectory, because I'll tell you when you will understand. I did bio, like in my school I took bio because my aim was to become a doctor. I could not clear because I did my studying from Kendriya Vidyalaya, so I had mathematics as well in my 12th. I ended up giving AIEEE exam. Then my mom forced me, I did BTech. I did BTech, I did very well. I was the, in the 7th or 8th sem, I did the university top as well. From my campus, I got a job in Cognizant, which was at that time second largest IT company in India after TCS. 6 months I worked, they gave me to profile working on a core Java. Within 6 months I realized if I keep on doing it, either I will resign or they will throw me out. And this happened. I could not write, but somewhere I had a flair of connecting with people, and I'm so blessed that I got so wonderful managers there. They understood my capability, they understood my positive point. And after 1 year, through an IJP, which is internal job movement, I got into the L&D profile, which was now slowly aligned to the HR profession. And then 10 years I worked with Cognizant. I did campus recruitment, I did leadership development, L&D, business partner. And then during COVID, when everybody was changing jobs, I also changed. And I joined this Bristlecone company, which is Mahindra group of company, right? We are part of Mahindra part. So where is the disaster part? You could see that how many career tracks I changed. I was not even formally trained in MBA. After I did HR, I did my MBA. And recently I completed my MBA from FMS. Right now I'm even pursuing my PhD from IIM Lucknow. So I created this journey over 15 years of time. But why I'm saying that it's a disaster journey? Can you guess? Because since my childhood, you asked me what I wanted to become. I wanted to become a news reader. That was my dream during childhood. So you never get into the career track which you aspire, which your parents tell, and you always have a time to restart your journey. Even if you are doing something right now which is not aligned to your goals, it's perfectly fine. Go today, find out your strengths and weakness, select the area in which you want to grow, and start upskilling yourself. That's what is the most important activity for the skills. These are these are the jobs which will go. I just thought to give you this area so that during this self-reflection exercise, at least don't choose these profiles. Okay, so data entry kind of a job, administrative, secretary, payroll, because all these things will be been already automated by the software. Factory workers, administrative managers, mechanics, repairs, because all these machines have come which can improve the efficiency. So now I'm going to share a few tips in the next 10 minutes that what exactly you could do to achieve and build this muscle which will help you to become successful, right? And for that, maybe we'll do one quick 15-second exercise, because I can see a lot of people yawning. So first of all, sit properly. Come on, keep your back straight quickly. I'll tell you 1, 2, 3, and you have to simply fold your hands the way we do like this. Okay, not now. I'll say 1, 2, 3 and then do it. Okay, and please put your phone on silent. If next time anyone's phone rings, we will do the drop test. And we'll check the quality of your phone. Are you ready? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Very good. Now just carefully observe your hand and tell me which hand is on top. Everybody, for them, right is on top? Okay, left wale, okay. Few people had left. Come on. Untangle your hands. I'll say again. Start. Okay. Now which hand on top? Right? Left? Either it could be left or right. Left or right? Okay, I could still, okay, last time we'll do, and then I'll tell you what you have to do next, okay? And try to unanimously do something, okay? Start. Which hand? Okay. Now, this is what you have to do. Those, how many of you were getting right on top? Now you have to ensure that your left hand should come on top. And how many of you were getting left on top? You have to do the reverse. Okay? 1, 2, 3, start. Okay, I could see some smile. Why you are laughing? Just share. Why you are laughing? Just, I'm asking. Was it easy, tough? Is it? Even when you are trying to bring left on top? So this is what, very good. Thank you so much for proving my example and research positively. This is how our mind is trained. If I have told you to do something, you will only do that. And most toughest part in the entire learning journey is unlearning something. Because you have learned A for apple, you will never be able to challenge your mindset. So first thing which you have to learn is how to unlearn. Challenge your biases. Challenge your perception. All our biases, discrimination are given to us at the childhood. I still remember, I'll tell you, can you tell me certain quickly biases? And I'll give you the example. So I have one friend, she is from Kolkata. She said, every time anybody meet her, they says, do you eat fish or not? And she is a pure vegetarian. So what is a bias? Kolkata people eating lot of fish. Any one or two bias anyone would like to quickly share? Yes. Loud. Sorry? For example, yes. Rajasthan no water. In fact, there was one advertisement also. They placed one shower in the Rajasthan and they said that everybody got surprised. I think this is a very Instagramish answer. But very apt. What else? Mumbai? ये तो कोई bias नहीं है, ये तो सच बात है. मुंबई में वड़ा पाव अच्छा मिलता है. What is the bias? Yes. Shh. India? नहीं सुनाई दे रहा, sorry. You have to be loud.
India and ICC knockout matches.
Okay, it's a bias?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Pollution free? इसमें bias क्या हुआ? ये तो सच है. Okay, so now you understood. We have to challenge. I'll tell you some gender specific bias. For example, pink color is not meant for men. That's a bias. Boys can also wear pink. What's wrong in that? Girls can't drive well. That's the biggest bias and discrimination. They drive much better than at least I drive. Okay? Next is, don't focus only on academic curriculum. Focus more on situation-based learning, the way I gave you the Sarah example, case study-based approach, and as well as real-time problem solving. And this is a concept which is mentioned in the 5.0. So what Japan is trying to do, they are mixing their technology and human-centered problem which Japan is facing. Japan is the most resource-scarce country if you read them. They don't have any their own natural resources. Aging population, all these things are the issues of Japan which they are trying to address with this human-centered approach. And the last part where I want you to develop your muscle is empathy, human connections, and inspiration. During college time, we get more into this. We develop lot of relations, we develop lot of bonding, but over the period of time, that fades away. So empathy is very important to be a good human being, and that will help you to connect with your audience, to connect with your client, and inspiration part, which is more important. By the time I'll go to the next activity, I want to know the difference between empathy, sympathy and apathy. Anyone would like to try? Tell me. So there is a proverb, right? You have not walked in my shoe. What does it mean? You want to try, ma'am? Can you give her a mic, please?
Sir, it means to empathize yourself
With?
with the person. Sir, empathy basically means to place yourself in the same situation as an individual.
Exactly. Why it is so important? Because when you become entrepreneur, if you don't understand challenges of your customer, you will not be able to design your product and services which is more relevant for the customer, and then customer will not buy your product. So you should have that approach. And these are the three key major skills which no AI can ever replace. So if you want to sit on a top of an AI and you want to make sure that you drive AI, not AI drives you, have this skill set which is very, very important. Okay? Okay, the last thing which I wanted to talk about is the mindset, right? So mindset is very important and I'll explain it after we do it. Now this is where I need you to do some ranking, okay? I'm going to give you 5 questions. This is a scenario. There is a one answer. There are 2 answers. And I'll read the question. If you feel that you are more A, give yourself 1 marks. If you feel you are more of a B, give yourself 0. It's okay, 0 doesn't mean it's a bad thing, but I want to do it in a binary, 0, 1, 0, 1, so that it's easy for us to calculate scores later. So suppose you got a low grade in your semester exams. How do you react? I see this as an opportunity to reflect on my performance and learn from my mistake, or I feel discouraged and believe. And be honest, okay? If you want a real scoring, real mindset, and once you are done, maybe you just raise your hand, we'll quickly move on. Done? Everybody? And nobody is judging you, that's why even I'm not going to ask you your scores. So you can silently write it and we will not judge you. Even if you say, I feel discouraged, this thing, I'm okay. But be honest, truthful to yourself. Is it done? So maybe first you write A, and if it is A, give yourself 1 score. If you are saying no, I am more of a B, give yourself 0 as a coding. You are learning a new skill, say playing an instrument, you find it challenging and struggle to progress. What do you do? Read it. Once you are done, raise your hand, we'll move on. Done? Everyone? See, when you think a lot, you will make wrong answer. I'm telling you. Joe, first thing which is coming on your mind, do it. And don't look at what your friend is writing. You have given a constructive criticism on a project you have been working on. How do you respond? Okay, constructive criticism means your professor and teacher have come and said, no, this is not good, you have not done a good job, ye aise hona chahiye tha, this ideally would have done like this. This is constructive criticism. If you are A, give yourself 1 marks. If you are B, give yourself 0. Done? Last bench, you are done. You all have to come and present here, mind it. Last scenario, oh, I think I have one more. You are faced with a difficult problem that you are not sure how to solve. What's your approach? So if suppose some real-time problem statement is given to you, what will you do? A or B? Shall I move? Last question. Now I want you to think through that you have joined a corporate and you have been promoted. You are given a new role. which is outside of your comfort zone. How do you feel about it? Done? Any volunteer who would like to just simply say A, B, B, B? I just wanted to ensure that you have done. Any volunteer? Yes. All A. Okay. What did you choose? For? Okay. Yes, sir. A, B, A. Okay. Any more? Yes. All A. Okay. Now I'll give you the scoring, and this is for your reference. If you got 5 points, you have a strong growth mindset. If 4, then it's moderate. If 3, then somewhere you're in the middle of the growth and the fixed mindset. If you are getting 1 and 2 points, that means that you are more towards the fixed mindset. And what is growth and fixed mindset? That I'll end up by showing you a very quick video, and then I'm done. This video is not coming. Video chalao. Okay.
One of the most effective ways of increasing your motivation may sound obvious or crazy, but it's no joke. In neuroscience, it's called having a growth mindset. Scientists have found that adopting a growth mindset can greatly improve motivation. So what is it? In short, it's simply believing that you are able to grow and improve. This definition makes it seem like everyone should already have a growth mindset. But in reality, thoughts like those can get easily interrupted or erased by negativity. Anytime we think things like, I can't do this right now, or I don't need to learn that, we are interrupting our growth mindset and potentially holding ourselves back. If you are one of the many people who have difficulty believing in yourself, keep in mind it's proven that all humans have the ability to grow and improve. Having a growth mindset is one of the best ways to tap into your unlocked potential.
GCF Global, creating opportunities for a better life.
So this is what I wanted to say, that you all are special, you all have ability to grow. Just understand your potential, look into your strength. Maybe you are good at something, and you don't need to be good at everything. There are so many things which even I don't know. I don't know how to ride a bike. I can't drive well. I can't eat vegetarian food. But that doesn't mean that I'm incompetent and I cannot grow. The same logic applies to all of you. Whatever you know, hold it good, work on your strength, have a growth mindset that you can grow, you can also do it, and then you don't need anything else. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Now I'm pleased to invite Dr. Rahul to speak on entrepreneurship and innovation. With a career spanning over a decade in the healthcare sector, Dr. Rahul stands as a passionate advocate for medical innovation and entrepreneurship. He also spearheading the very first government-supported medical startup incubation center in Uttar Pradesh.
जो बच्चे निकल रहे हैं, मैं सिर्फ इतना कह दूं कि हम बात करेंगे स्टार्टअप्स की. अगर आपके पास आइडिया है तो पैसे कहां से आएंगे? आई एम बीइंग वेरी डायरेक्ट. कोई आइडिया है आपके इस कमरे में, आई विल मेक श्योर दैट यू गेट द मनी. भारत सरकार के पास स्टार्टअप के लिए इतना पैसा है, उन्हें चाहिए तो सिर्फ स्ट्रांग आइडिया. और जो आइडिया आपके पास है उसमें और कौन कंट्रीब्यूट करेगा? और एक दुनिया जो इतनी बड़ी है हेल्थ केयर की, उसमें आपका पोटेंशियल उसमें कैसे आग लगा सकता है, हम यही बात करेंगे अगले 15 मिनट में. आपका इंटरेस्ट है स्टार्टअप में? आपका इंटरेस्ट है इनोवेशन में, तो अगले 20 मिनट विल टॉक ओनली व्हाट नेक्स्ट आफ्टर इंजीनियरिंग। डन? जिसको निकलना निकल सकते हैं। ओके, इसको लगा देंगे क्या? हाय, सारे सवाल लेंगे, सारी बातें करेंगे। थैंक यू दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी, थैंक यू मैम फॉर इनवाइटिंग ऑल ऑफ अस। और आई वाज सुपर एक्साइटेड टू नो कि आप सारे फर्स्ट ईयर्स हैं। और एक्साइटमेंट का वजह इसलिए भी खास है कि हमारे फर्स्ट ईयर में कभी ऐसा कुछ हुआ नहीं, क्योंकि उस वक्त स्टार्टअप का जो वर्ड था बहुत नया था, लोग बातें नहीं करते थे, लोगों को लगता था कि स्टार्टअप कौन करता है, सरकारी नौकरी करो, है ना, बहुत रिस्क भरा होता है। आज की इस दुनिया में आप देखेंगे कितने लोग अपने स्टार्टअप बनाना चाहते हैं रैंडमली। ओह वाह, ये जानते हुए कि पेटीएम के साथ क्या हुआ, परफेक्ट। एक स्टार्टअप बनाने के लिए सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट होता है आपकी रिस्क टेकिंग एबिलिटी, राइट। इससे पहले हम अगले 15 मिनट के सेशन में मैं आपको सिर्फ ये बताऊंगा थोड़ी मेरी बात। आई कम फ्रॉम दिस गवर्नमेंट मेडिकल कॉलेज विच इज कॉल्ड जिम्स, वी आर इन ग्रेटर नोएडा। ये देश का दूसरा और उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार का पहला हॉस्पिटल बेस्ड इंक्यूबेटर है, पब्लिक हॉस्पिटल बेस्ड इंक्यूबेटर। ये सारे शब्द अलग अलग हैं, बहुत ध्यान से सुने। जब भी आप एक स्टार्टअप बनाते हैं, हेल्थ केयर में स्टार्टअप बनाते हैं, तो भारत सरकार में फिलहाल और भी प्राइवेट में है, प्राइवेट में 4-5 और हैं। अगर आपके पास एक आइडिया है जो इंजीनियरिंग पढ़ने के बाद आई है आपके पास, और आप चाहते हो कि हेल्थ केयर में आप कंट्रीब्यूट करना चाहते हो, द क्लिनिकल एक्सपर्टीज दैट यू नीड, द क्लिनिकल ओपिनियन दैट यू नीड टू मेक योर स्टार्टअप फाइट विद द बिग जाइंट्स। क्योंकि आप जो सोच रहे हैं ना, आइडिया बड़ा नहीं होता। एक बात आप ध्यान रख लें, आप जो सोच रहे हैं इस कमरे में बैठे 10 और लोग वही सोच रहे हैं। एग्जैक्टली मैंने आपको एग्जांपल दिया, कौन कौन स्टार्टअप बनाएगा, तो आधी जनता खड़ी है। बट आइडिया को एग्जीक्यूट करना जो है वो सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज होता है। एंड हाउ डू यू डू दैट, मैं अगले 15 मिनट सेशन में आपको प्रैक्टिकल एग्जांपल्स बताऊंगा। आई एम अ क्लिनिशियन, आई प्रैक्टिस डेंटिस्ट्री, आई एम ए रेसिडेंट डॉक्टर विद द गवर्नमेंट मेडिकल कॉलेज। तो टूटा जबड़ा हमारे हिस्से में आता है, और थोड़े पैसे देते तो अच्छी स्माइल भी। और आई हैव माई ओन स्टार्टअप जो IIT मंडी से फंडेड है, और वो वन ऑफ इट्स काइंड है कंट्री में। ओरल कैंसर स्क्रीनिंग के लिए एक डिवाइस बना रहे हैं, उसमें हमारे इंजीनियर दोस्त बहुत कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहे हैं। मेरे इस जर्नी में आप ये देखेंगे कि एंड देन माई सेंटर इज ऑल्सो अ स्टैनफोर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी सेंटर इन इंडिया। स्टैनफोर्ड ने हमारे प्रदेश से दे हैव सेलेक्टेड 13 स्टार्टअप्स। पहले हमने 24 दिए बेस्ट, 24 से ग्रिल करके 13 पे पहुंचे, और 13 से 9 स्टार्टअप्स मेरे संस्थान के हैं, जिम्स, विच वी कॉल्ड सेंटर फॉर मेडिकल इनोवेशन, जो मैं हेड करता हूं एट गवर्नमेंट इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ मेडिकल साइंसेज। 2-3 मोटी मोटी बातें, कॉलेज ड्रॉप आउट नहीं करना चाहिए, बहुत स्ट्रांग पॉइंट। जो भी लोग एडवोकेट करते हैं कि ड्रॉप आउट करें, नहीं, क्योंकि इस कॉम्पिटिटिव माहौल में जो भी बंदा आपके बगल में बैठा है वो आपके साथ कंपीट कर रहा है। एंड दिस इज सच्चाई है दुनिया की। हेल्थ केयर में बड़े कम लोग डॉक्टर बनते हैं, बट हर जगह कंपटीशन है। एक क्लिनिक अच्छी चल रही होती है, दूसरी नहीं चल रही होती है। स्किल कॉमन है ना। मैं बात को वहां से और लंबा ले जाऊंगा, जहां मेरे इससे पहले स्पीकर थे, उन्होंने बात छोड़ी थी कि यू हैव टू वर्क ऑन योर स्किल्स। और 2 इंपॉर्टेंट चीजें हैं, स्टडिंग साइंस एंड प्रैक्टिसिंग साइंस। 2 चीजें हैं। और हेल्थ केयर में एक तीसरी चीज है। इफ एट ऑल आई हैव स्टडीड मेडिसिन और डेंटिस्ट्री और फार्मेसी और नर्सिंग, स्टडिंग इज अ पार्ट ऑफ इट, जैसे आप इंजीनियरिंग पढ़ रहे हैं। प्रैक्टिसिंग साइंस इज एन आर्ट। मार्क माई वर्ड्स। हाउ डू आई प्रैक्टिस द साइंस विच आई लर्न? मैं एक एक्सट्रैक्शन करता हूं और एकदम पेनलेस, उसके 10,000 रुपए लेता हूं। मेरा पेशेंट मुझे देता है, क्यों? बिकॉज ऑफ माई स्किल। आप एक डॉक्टर को विजिट करते हैं और अगले 5 मिनट में फैसला कर देते हैं कि डॉक्टर साहब बड़े अच्छे थे। आपको कुछ नहीं पता उन्होंने क्या पढ़ा है, पूरी जिंदगी की मेहनत लगी है उनकी। व्हाट यू जज? हिज सॉफ्ट स्किल्स। आपको उनके क्लिनिकल स्किल के बारे में कुछ नहीं पता, आपको इमीडिएट दिख रहा होता है। अब हम आते हैं स्टार्टअप्स पे। स्टार्टअप होता क्या है, किस चीज को हम स्टार्टअप कहते हैं, वो इनोवेशन से कितना अलग है, क्या इनोवेशन से हम कुछ बड़ा बना सकते हैं। ये जो स्लाइड है, दिस टॉक्स अबाउट द अपॉर्चुनिटीज। एक तरफ आप हैं और एक तरफ इकोसिस्टम। एक वर्ड बहुत कॉमन चलता है इंडस्ट्री में, द इकोसिस्टम। देयर इज अ इकोसिस्टम इन द कंट्री टू हेल्प यू आउट। आज के दिन अगर आपके पास सिर्फ एक आइडिया है और आइडिया में आप थोड़ा विश्वास रखते हैं कि उसके पीछे क्या साइंस है, उसके लिए गवर्नमेंट आपको 10 लाख रुपए तक फंड करती है। एंड आई वाज वेरी डिलाइटेड टू सी कि आपके इंस्टीट्यूट में यू हैव अ वेरी गुड इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर, यहीं उन्मोदय फाउंडेशन जो बोर्ड लगा हुआ है। दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी में ऐसे 3 और हैं। साउथ कैंपस में यू हैव अ बायोनेस्ट, शहीद सुखदेव भगत सिंह कॉलेज में एक इंक्यूबेटर है। जस्ट अ सिंपल आइडिया विथ अ लिटिल लॉजिक इनटू इट एंड देन द राइट टीम। ये जरूरी नहीं कि आपको हर काम आए, लेकिन दोस्त एक चीज बहुत श्योर करना है कि जो मुझे आता है वो मुझे बड़े अच्छे से आता है। ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। अगर वजन ही बढ़ाना है तो इस कमरे में सबसे अधिक वजन मेरा हो, कि अगर वेट लिफ्टिंग वजन के हिसाब से कुछ ट्रॉफी मिलनी है तो मुझे मिल जाए। इफ एट ऑल यू आर गुड एट मार्केटिंग, इफ एट ऑल यू आर गुड एट इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियरिंग, मेक श्योर कि मेरे बैच में कोई एक स्टार्टअप बना रहा हो और उसे इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियर चाहिए तो वो आपको हायर करे। सिंपल। इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियरिंग में भी बहुत बड़ा डोमेन है, राइट? यू मे बी गुड एट सर्किट डिजाइनिंग। आप जिसमें है एक डोमेन एक्सपर्टीज आपकी होनी चाहिए, लोग आपको उसके लिए हायर करें, राइट? ये तो हमारा इनोवेशन सेंटर है। विल टॉक अबाउट फ्यू, या एग्जैक्ट। ये लड़का जो है इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियर है। कितने लोग इसी के हैं यहां पे? एकदम रिलेट करें। आज हम जो भी समाज के अलग अलग चेहरे हैं जो बड़ी मेहनत के साथ दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी में आए हैं, थोड़ा ध्यान इस तरफ। इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियर, प्लेसमेंट्स हो गई थी, अच्छी नौकरी कर रहे थे। दे डिसाइडेड कि हम अपनी इंजीनियरिंग के साथ कुछ कमाल करना चाहते हैं। जिंदगी में पहली बार पीरियड्स के बारे में पता चला इसको अपनी बड़ी बहन से। फैमिलीज में लोग डिस्कस नहीं करते, भाई बहन तो और नहीं करते, पेरेंट्स तो और नहीं करते, टैबू है। व्हेन दे गॉट टू नो कि बहुत सीवियर पेन होता है और जो मार्केट में ऑप्शंस अवेलेबल हैं वो पेन किलर्स हैं या हॉट वाटर है, हॉट वाटर जो बैग्स आते हैं। विद देयर इंजीनियरिंग इन्होंने वन ऑफ इट्स काइंड एक डिवाइस डेवलप किया है जो पीरियड्स में होने वाले दर्द को खत्म कर देता है। एक नॉन इन्वेसिव डिवाइस है, लोअर एब्डोमेन में लगाना होता है। ये डिवाइस कहां से आई? इनकी इंजीनियरिंग से आई। एप्लीकेशन कहां हो रहा है? हेल्थ केयर में। आप इमेजिन करो इसके लिए कितनी बड़ी दुनिया है, पूरा वर्ल्ड इसकी मार्केट है। इनका क्लिनिकल वैलिडेशन हम लोग कर रहे हैं। एंड ऑफ एयर ये बता देता हूं कि आप बहुत जल्दी इनको शार्क टैंक पे देखेंगे। शूटिंग इज डन, प्रॉब्ली जब भी लाइव होगा तो आप देख पाएंगे। इस तरह के जो भी यूनिक इन्वेंशंस हो रहे हैं वो मेजर इंजीनियरिंग से आ रहे हैं और हेल्थ केयर में आ रहे हैं। हेल्थ केयर एक बहुत बड़ा मार्केट है, इतनी बड़ी अपॉर्चुनिटीज है। आप किस प्रॉब्लम को पिक करते हैं, किसको सॉल्व करना चाहते हैं। और कभी कभी प्रॉब्लम से बड़ी एक्सेसिबिलिटी भी होती है कि एक चीज दिल्ली में है लेकिन वो किसी छोटे शहर में बंगाल में नहीं है। हाउ डू यू मेक इट एक्सेसिबल? ये भी अपने आप में एक स्टार्टअप है। विल शो यू फ्यू पिक्चर्स कि क्यों खास है। ड्रोन। जब आप हेल्थ केयर और ड्रोन सोचते हैं तो आपको लगता है कि ड्रोन बना तो इंजीनियर का काम है, लेकिन ये इमेजिन कीजिए, मैं आपको एक वीडियो दिखाना चाहता हूं। ये वीडियो नहीं चल पा रहा है।
पहले एक वीडियो देखा था हिमाचल प्रदेश के लाहौल स्पीति में
ये वीडियो नहीं चलेगा।
ड्रोन की मदद से एक जगह से दूसरी जगह क्यों दवा पहुंचाई। इस काम में पहले 2 घंटे का समय लगता था, लेकिन ड्रोन की मदद से
मैं आपको एग्जांपल देता हूं। IIT दिल्ली के कुछ इंजीनियरिंग के स्टूडेंट्स हैं, वो आए प्रॉब्लम पढ़ने के लिए। एक तो होता है दिमाग में हमने तय कर लिया हम ये स्टार्टअप करेंगे। स्मार्ट तरीका स्टार्टअप करने का है आपका प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट। हम क्या सॉल्व करना चाहते हैं, सबसे पहले बड़ा बड़ा लिख लें, फिर कैसे सॉल्व करना चाहते हैं, और फिर वो टीम कहां से आएगी, आखिरी में आता है कि मेंटरिंग और पैसा कहां से आएगा। आई गेस एवरीबडी इज कंफर्टेबल विद हिंदी एंड इंग्लिश, राइट? A problem statement is the very, very, very important part of a startup. हम सॉल्व क्या करना चाहते हैं और क्या उसके लिए मार्केट है, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। आप जो बनाना चाहते हैं वो बिकेगा ना, क्या खरीदार है उसके। हेल्थ में आप जो भी इनोवेट करते हैं, I'll show you few slides। इतना बड़ा आप इमेजिन करें, कोविड के टाइम पे आरटीपीसीआर टेस्ट हुआ करते थे, धीरे धीरे एकदम से फिर एक रैपिड एंटीजन टेस्टिंग आ गई दुनिया में। उससे पहले टेस्टिंग किट नहीं हुआ करती थी। जब प्रॉब्लम बहुत बड़ी होती है ना, तो आपके पास उतना बड़ा मार्केट साइज होता है सॉल्व करने के लिए। जो भी कंपनी थी जो पहली बार एंटीजन किट लेकर आई, इमेजिन ऑफ द ग्लोबल मार्केट साइज। प्रॉब्लम जितनी बड़ी, अपॉर्चुनिटी उतना बड़ा, लेकिन स्टार्टअप बनाने के लिए राइट प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट और उसका वैलिडेशन कि क्या आपको लग रहा है एक प्रॉब्लम है, क्या जेन्युइनली एक प्रॉब्लम है वो। क्योंकि उसमें अगर आप दूसरी साइड पर इन्वेस्टर हैं कि मैं आपके आइडिया में पैसा लगाऊं, ये कोई और आपके आइडिया में पैसा लगाए, वो क्या देखता है, क्या ये स्केलेबल है, राइट? तभी तो वो बड़ा होता है। कितने यूजर होंगे उसके। छोटी छोटी मोटी बातें हैं, आपको लगता है कि बहुत मुश्किल है, बड़ा आसान है एक चीज तय करना। हाँ, बट देन अगेन फिगर इट आउट कि हमारी स्ट्रेंथ कहां जाएगी, उसमें हम कैसे कंट्रीब्यूट करेंगे, और जो हमारे पास है उसको हमने लिख लिया, बाकी क्या रिसोर्स हमें चाहिए। कैन माई फ्रेंड्स हेल्प मी आउट इन दिस। एक ऐसी यूनिवर्सिटी में जहां पढ़ते हैं जहां सारे कोर्सेज हैं, एंड देन वी आर वन ऑफ द बेस्ट इन द कंट्री, राइट? क्या हम कोलैबोरेट करके कोई और रिसोर्स किसी और कॉलेज से ले सकते हैं? ये जो इंटर डिपार्टमेंटल कम्युनिकेशन अगर हम डेवलप करते हैं ना, वो आपकी ताकत बनती है एक अच्छे स्टार्टअप बनाने की। और दिस कल्चर हैज टू स्टार्ट राइट फ्रॉम फर्स्ट ईयर। आपके पास कॉलेज में रिस्क लेने को नहीं, टाइम बर्बाद करने को नहीं है। अगर आप रोज, आपको लगता है कि अपने कॉलेज के बाद यू आर डेडिकेटिंग 2-3 आवर्स अपने इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर में, बाकी इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर में जाके, बाकी इंस्टीट्यूशन में जाकर के कि मेरा ये आइडिया है, वैलिडेट करना है। आप एक ऐसी जगह बैठे हैं दिल्ली में जहां से सब कुछ संभव है। मैंने अपनी स्लाइड में लिखा था, द फ्यूचर इज नोवेयर एल्स, द फ्यूचर इज राइट हियर। यही फ्यूचर है। जो कुछ सोचो हो जा रहा है ना फोन में बैठे बैठे। तो यह बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। एंड देन ओके, ये वीडियो मैं प्ले करना चाहता हूं, ये बहुत खास है, फिर मैं इसकी एक्चुअल वीडियो दिखाऊंगा।
आपने कुछ दिन पहले एक वीडियो देखा होगा, हिमाचल प्रदेश के लाहौल स्पीति में आईसीएमआर ने ड्रोन की मदद से एक जगह से दूसरी जगह दवा पहुंचाई। इस काम में पहले 2 घंटे का समय लगता था, लेकिन ड्रोन की मदद से ये 20, 25, 30 मिनट में ही, उससे भी कम समय में काम हो गया।
ड्रोन बनाने वाली कंपनी पिज्जा भी तो भेज सकती थी ना, लोग भेज तो रहे पिज्जा। आपको अपॉर्चुनिटी ढूंढनी है कि हम ड्रोन से दवाई भेज सकते हैं, हम ड्रोन से ब्लड भी भेज सकते हैं। एंड लेट मी वेरी प्राउडली टेल यू, हम इंडिया का पहला हॉस्पिटल बेस्ड, ड्रोन बेस्ड हॉस्पिटल बना रहे हैं कि हम एक जिले को, पूरे जिले को, सरकारी प्राइवेट सबको ब्लड कनेक्टिविटी के लिए ड्रोन से कवर करेंगे। ये दिस हैज टू कम फ्रॉम योर साइड। क्या हम उस ऑपरेशन को बेहतर कर सकते हैं? हमारे यहां अभी भी पिज्जा टाइम पे आ जाता है, लेकिन एम्बुलेंस टाइम पे नहीं आ पाती है। सबको पता है ना, हंसते हैं, मजाक करते हैं। कैन यू सॉल्व इट? इसके लिए कोई डॉक्टर नहीं बनाने, और ना ही ड्राइवर्स बनाने हैं, ना ही एम्बुलेंस बनाना है। आपको एक सिस्टम बनाना है जो उसको इंटीग्रेट करेगा। क्या आप वो कर सकते हैं? ऐसे सारे थॉट प्रोसेस के लिए आर इंस्टीट्यूट एंड प्रॉब्ली एवरी इंस्टीट्यूट जहां भी इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर है, वो आपकी प्रॉब्लम को सुनते हैं, प्रॉब्लम को वेरीफाई करते हैं, वैलिडेट करते हैं, and they help you, mentor you, guide you with whatever resource they have and with the funds which is available with government of India. ऐसा पहले नहीं हुआ कि आपके आइडिया के ऊपर आपको पैसे मिल जाए, कि आप जाइए, आपको हमने पैसे दिए मेंटरिंग के साथ, गो एंड मेक अ प्रोटोटाइप ऑफ इट। आइडिया के अगेंस्ट पैसा मिला, आपको बना के लेके आना प्रोटोटाइप, फिर उस पर और फंडिंग्स हैं, तो फंडिंग इज नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम। राइट डिवाइस, राइट। एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, वक्त पे रहना बहुत जरूरी है। अगर आज आप मेहनत नहीं करेंगे ना, तो आप किसी और के लिए नौकरी करेंगे, वो भी ठीक है, बुरा नहीं है, हम सब कर रहे हैं। पैशन को जीने का जो सही वक्त है ना, ये कॉलेज के 4 साल एकदम रिसोर्सफुल है, एनर्जीफुल है, एंड यू हैव राइट रिसोर्स। इस स्लाइड के साथ, इस वीडियो के साथ मैं एक चीज जो बताना चाहता हूं, शायद वीडियो बहुत क्लियर बोलेगी। टाइम यही है, एंड यू हैव टू बी हियर। इफ इट ऑल यू आर नॉट हियर, प्रॉब्ली फ्यूचर में आपका कंट्रीब्यूशन कम हो जाएगा। तो दिस इज फ्यूचर। आज आप कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहे हैं, तो यू आर सॉल्विंग प्रॉब्ली वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट आपके जिंदगी का गोल, जिसको आप अचीव करना चाहते हैं, ये इसी जर्नी से जाएगा। प्लीज हैव अ व्यू ऑफ दिस।
But Holland comes in for a pit stop. Time to refuel and change tires. Lou Moore himself changes the tires. Only 4 crew members, including the driver, are allowed to work on the car. It's a tense time. Holland stays in his seat, anxious to get away. Let's watch. Tires are changed at last. A crewman polishes the windshield as Holland moves away just 67 seconds after he stopped.
Hope the message is clear, right? The future is here. ये स्लाइड्स आपको दिख रही हैं? टेक्नोलॉजी इतनी जबरदस्त हो गई है कि अब हमारे पास इस तरह का एक सेंसर है। अगर आपके पेरेंट्स को डायबिटीज है और उनको डिवाइस लगा कर छोड़ दिया हॉल्टर, आपके फोन से हमेशा मॉनिटर 24 घंटे 7 दिन, किस वक्त डिप किया शुगर, किस वक्त अप गया, किस वक्त पूरी जो वट एवर द डेटा दैट वी रिक्वायर, द क्लिनिकल डेटा, ये सब एक साथ रिकॉर्ड हो जाता है। हमारा ये वीडियो लेरिंजोस्कोप है। मेडिकल डिवाइसेस में कन्वेंशनल डिवाइसेस पहले भी थी, इनोवेशन तब भी हो रहा था, आज भी हो रहा है। हाउ डू वी मेक इट मच मच बेटर विथ योर एफर्ट? इंजीनियरिंग इज द फ्यूचर, इसमें तो कोई मतलब वही सत्य है, बट उसको आप हेल्थ केयर को बेहतर बनाने में कितना यूज करते हो, ये आपके ऊपर है। दिस इज अ वेन फाइंडर। अभी आप जाते हो, अमूमन देखते हो कि नर्सिंग साहब अपने तजुर्बे के साथ वेन्स ढूंढ रहे होते हैं, राइट? दिस इज अ वेरी सिंपल डिवाइस, आप हाथ के ऊपर रखते हो, जहां भी रखते हो वेन्स दिखने लगती हैं। दिस इज एप्लीकेशन ऑफ साइंस इनटू हेल्थ केयर। ऑफ कोर्स ड्रोन की हम बात कर ही रहे थे। हैंड हेल्ड अल्ट्रासाउंड का पूरा मशीन, रिमोट लोकेशंस में जहां आज भी गांव में सारी सुविधा नहीं है, क्या हम ये सारी चीजें जो बड़े अस्पताल में छोटी जगह पे होते हैं, क्या इनको हम ऐसा पोर्टेबल बना सकते हैं क्या? 5 साल पहले 10 साल पहले पॉसिबल नहीं था, बड़ी मशीन चाहिए थी, आज पॉसिबल है ना? हाउ डू वी मेक इट, दैट इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ये मैं जिसकी बात कर रहा था वेन फाइंडर की, आई जस्ट टेक 5 minutes. दिस इज इंजीनियरिंग, द नेक्स्ट लेवल ऑफ, जिसको हम जेनेटिक इंजीनियरिंग कहते हैं, जो आप सुन रहे हैं कि बहुत जल्दी टारगेटेड मेडिसिन आ जाएंगी. मैं इस सेमिनार के साथ आप सबको इनवाइट करता हूं हेल्थ केयर की तरफ. हेल्थ केयर में इतनी अपॉर्चुनिटीज हैं, बट विथ योर स्किल्स. अपने साथ कोई एक ऐसा स्किल लेकर आए कि मैं एम्प्लॉयबल हूं, उस स्किल के लिए लोग मुझे हायर करें. यह बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. ये मैं जिनकी बातें कर रहा था, ये बहुत सिंपल सा है. नॉर्मल सीपीआर देते हैं, ये सीपीआर की मशीन है. ये मैं जिस होल्डर की बात कर रहा था, दिस इज हैंड हेल्ड. ये सिंपल सा इंजीनियरिंग, ये देखिए, लाइट से पूरे ओटी को डिसइंफेक्ट कर देना. क्या इंजीनियरिंग का क्या क्या एप्लीकेशन हेल्थ केयर में हो सकता है, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. ये आपने इंश्योर करना है. एंड देन प्रॉब्ली द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट, the next thing in the world is targeted medicine. Bioengineers are in high demand. Bioinformatics, जिस data science की मैम बात कर रही थी, बायोइन्फॉर्मेटिक्स पूरा एक ये जिसको हम बायोइन्फॉर्मेटिक्स कहते हैं, बायोटेक्नोलॉजी के सब ब्रांचेस बहुत सारे हो गए हैं. गेट स्पेशलाइज इनटू समथिंग एंड मेक श्योर दैट यू आर द मैन जो दुनिया ढूंढ रही है, जो स्टार्टअप को लोग ढूंढ रहे हैं. कोविड में सिंपल सी बात है, कोविड में अब पहले वैक्सीन आई, वैक्सीन बड़े कम टाइम में आई. और मैं दोबारा से ऐसा करता हूं, जितनी बड़ी प्रॉब्लम थी पूरी दुनिया साथ हो गई. अमूमन एक वैक्सीन बनने में 15, 18, 20 साल लगते हैं. 1.5 साल में वैक्सीन बनी ना. जितनी बड़ी प्रॉब्लम उतनी बड़ी अपॉर्चुनिटी. तो जो भी लोग स्टार्टअप बना रहे हैं, हेल्थ केयर में बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम है, वही आपकी अपॉर्चुनिटी है. इन्होंने एक च्युइंगम बनाया है टीबी के लिए कि कम्युनिटी में एक तरीका तो यह है कि हर कोई अस्पताल आके चेक कराए. दूसरा तरीका यह है कि आप एक साथ कम्युनिटी में च्युइंगम बंटवा दो, हर च्युइंगम चबाए, जिसके च्युइंगम का कलर चेंज, उसको टेस्ट करना है. दिस इज यूज ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग. ये प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. दिस इज द पर्टिकुलर डिवाइस जिसकी मैं बात कर रहा था, जो हम मेड इन इंडिया बना रहे हैं. टिश्यू फ्लोरेसेंस की जो अब नॉर्मल टिश्यूज हैं वो अलग तरह की वेवलेंथ इमिट करेंगी और नॉर्मल अलग करेंगी. दिस इज ऑल फोटोडायनामिक्स. फोटोडायनामिक्स इंजीनियर से बेहतर कोई नहीं जानता. यूज करते हैं एज क्लिनिशियंस हम डॉक्टर्स. लेकिन दिस इंटीग्रेशन दैट योर स्किल एंड आवर नीड, व्हेन इट कम्स टुगेदर, तो एक बड़ा मार्केट है उसके लिए. मैं जिसकी बात कर रहा था, जिसको आप प्रॉब्ली 8 मार्च को देखेंगे शार्क टैंक पे, वो मात्री. दिस इज द पर्टिकुलर ड्रोन. ये ड्रोन जो हमारे हॉस्पिटल में है, क्यूआर कोड के साथ स्कैन करके लैंड करता है. ये सारी इंजीनियरिंग है. इन्होंने क्या किया, वो ये पूरा एक्चुअल, जब मैंने पहली बार देखा तो मुझे विश्वास नहीं हुआ था. ये एक्चुअल पूरा प्लेन है. 8 kg पेलोड लेकर के हमने इसको, हम यूज कर रहे हैं इसको ब्लड ट्रांसपोर्टेशन के लिए. 80 किलोमीटर ट्रैवल कर सकता है विद द स्पीड ऑफ 120 किलोमीटर पर आवर. हाउ डू यू यूज दिस स्किल? ये छोटी छोटी चीजें हैं. एंड प्रॉब्ली आई जस्ट वांट टू शो यू दिस वीडियो एंड देन विल एंड अप. ये वीडियो आपके लिए बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट है. कि जब हमने पहली बार देखा मुझे विश्वास नहीं हुआ था कि क्या ऐसा भी ड्रोन होता है. How do you use engineering that's up to you. The market is healthcare. Idea is yours. और सरकार पैसा दे रही है. इससे सुनहरा, इससे बेस्ट, इससे अप्रोप्रिएट टाइम पहले तो नहीं आया. मेक यूज ऑफ दिस टाइम. वापस जा करके स्टार्टअप इंडिया साइट पे जाइए. स्टार्टअप इंडिया गवर्नमेंट की वेबसाइट है, राइट. आपको सारे प्रोग्राम्स लिखे होते हैं. अगर आप हेल्थ केयर में करना चाहते हैं तो बायरैक की वेबसाइट है. डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी, ग्रांट्स अलग हैं, ग्रांट्स अलग होते हैं और वो आपके आइडिया के ऊपर जो, और एक फंडिंग का, बहुत लोगों को लगता है कि फंडिंग नहीं हो पाएगी. फंडिंग एक बात का मसला है. विथ योर क्लिनिकल मेंटर्स आप अपने प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट को आइडेंटिफाई करें, एक टीम बनाएं, क्योंकि लोग पैसा, बहुत बार सुनेंगे शार्क टैंक में, लोग पैसा टीम पे लगाते हैं, वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. आज जाइए, मेक श्योर कि एक कोई ऐसी प्रॉब्लम, चाहे वो आप जिस शहर से आते हो शहर की प्रॉब्लम हो, राइट द प्रॉब्लम, उस प्रॉब्लम के आसपास ट्राई टू डू अ लिटिल रिसर्च एंड देन विजिट अ इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर. राइट, बिलीव कीजिए, अगर आप एक डिवाइस बना रहे हैं हेल्थ केयर में, पैसा एक फैक्टर है ही नहीं, आपके आइडिया पे पैसा मिलता है. एंड देन इफ एट ऑल यू हैव द राइट आइडिया, वी टेक इट राइट फ्रॉम देयर. दैट इज ऑल फ्रॉम मी. द फ्यूचर इज हियर एंड बी द पार्ट ऑफ द फ्यूचर. थैंक यू.
Thank you very much, sir. Now it's time for panel discussion.
खड़े भी हो सकते हैं हम लोग, है ना? ऑफ कर देगा इसको. ये पैनल डिस्कशन आपके लिए है. आपके पास जो भी सवाल हो ना, कोई भी सवाल जो आपको लगता है, आप स्टार्टअप के राउंड पूछना चाहते हैं, डेटा साइंस के राउंड पूछना चाहते हैं, ये पूरा सेशन आपके लिए है. मेक श्योर दैट यू यूज इट वाइजली, है ना?
Okay, so in the interest of time, we'll do the quick panel discussion, and I'm on your side, so I'm representing here the student side in the panel discussion. I will be prompting our speakers to answer some questions. Mike, could you please give him mic, please? He wants to ask first question. Okay, one thing before you do it, always understand no question is a stupid question. The answers are stupid. So you will ask good questions. We may give you some stupid answer, but questions are always good to ask. With that, tell your name and ask your question, please.
Myself, Priyas. After attending the these sessions, I would realize that जो ऑटो रिकमेंडेशन होता है वो हमारी नॉलेज को रिस्ट्रिक्ट करता है. बिकॉज जब हम न्यू आइडिया सोचना चाहते हैं तो हमें सर जो डिफरेंट चीज़ है उसे हमें जानना चाहिए, पर जो ऑटो रिकमेंडेशन होता है वो हमें वही अवेलेबल कराता है जो हम पहले से जानते हैं. तो सर इट इज़ गुड फॉर अवर नेक्स्ट जनरेशन और नॉट सर.
Okay, you want to ask this question to which panel?
Ma'am.
Ma'am, okay.
I just wanted to clarify your question once. You mean that auto recommendation puts a halt to your creativity, right? Did I understand correctly? So I would say, I'll take the other side here. So recommendation engine is giving you, it's discovery versus invention, right? So discovery is what already exists, but we might not know. Invention is something which doesn't even exist. So it's not it's not putting a halt to invention. It's just helping you discover what already exists. So I think that's the difference. So recommendation definitely does not puts a halt or puts a hindrance in your creativity. For example, if I talk about Amazon products, right? So if you see recommended products on Amazon, let's say you're buying a shirt and it's recommending you to buy a tie along with it. The creativity has been enhanced, right? You might not have thought of going with a tie maybe to a function or wedding or whatever it is, but when it shows you that tie, you understand, oh, this is what the fashion statement looks like. I might try this. Similarly for a movie, similarly for something that you eat, let's say you are a foodie, you like food, you go to Swiggy, you go to Zomato. If it has read your patterns with time, it might suggest you tomorrow, oh, this is time for you to have salads. Why don't you try a new restaurant that has opened up? Right? So I think it is enhancing that discovery of data, discovery of maybe new restaurants, discovery of maybe new products that already exist, but you might not be aware about it. So I would say it's something that's enhancing our visibility to the things that already exist.
Just adding to this point, so today we all are, like most of us, like we are using this Gen AI, and Gen AI is very much known to create such kind of creative contents or narratives or images, videos, whatever. But again, having said that, as she said, like Sonam said, like on top of that, the industry practice, I'm talking from industry practice. So we may refer to this Gen AI or maybe similar sort of technologies in order to get some narratives or get some contents generated. But on top of that, we have to apply our creativity as well to make us differentiated from others. Otherwise, we are just replicating just like the way other players are doing in the market. Yeah. Yeah.
Next question. Yes.
My name is Animesh Kumar, and my question is about AI. We are training AI. We have trained lot of things earlier also. On internet, there are many things. I will talk about a small part about a dark web. Currently, we are using Amazon, Flipkart for selling and buying things, but we have other things on dark web which are selling not good things. Similarly, AI, we are training it for good purpose. If everyone is not training it for good purpose, few people in world may be trying it to do their objectives to do and to earn money irrespective of how it will react in our society. So my question is, I would like to modify this by saying that what are the boundaries in which we are training it, and how this if you are talking about we taught our kids to how to behave properly in society, but there are some criminals too. They have also taught right thing in their early ages, but they have thought it differently from those people who are going right, and they become criminals. So if AI do such a thing and it's start thinking of its own, suppose in now time someone is of its own and of a gang of 100 and 200, but AI is connected to all the computers, so it could make human handicap and could control and could think much more than what a group of 100 or 1000 or maybe a lakh people could think of.
See, there are multiple things what I believe like you have talked about. So one is like, first of all, we have to understand it is not the AI. AI is not the culprit behind the dark net or any such kind of, because ultimately AI as an application is developed by the person or maybe the engineer or whosoever be the coder. Now, in the AI itself, as I was discussing about responsible AI, or we also, like in the industry or maybe outside industry also, we do practice about ethical hacking. Now, it is a behavioral issue of a person, like a person may take these things either into the positive direction or in the negative direction. As you were talking about the objective, ultimately there is an objective. आप किसी hacker को भी ले लो तो hacker का भी एक objective होता है. And for him or her, the objective is quite positive. मेरे को उसका सिस्टम हैक करना है because of whatever be the reason. मेरे को उसके लिए हो सकता है कि I will take some, I will hack the system and for that I will take some remuneration or whatsoever be. वो भी हो सकता है, ransom hacking, वो भी हो सकता है. But as you are saying, like these sort of teaching or this sort of behavioral aspects must be called at a very early stage. Say for example, someone who is pursuing the engineering degree, normally जो coding वाला जो इस तरह का जो hacking या तो they are very much sharp by mind, and therefore they must be given proper ethical training at the right time. ये जो सोशल हैकिंग कहते हैं हम लोग या एथिकल हैकिंग करते हैं, दैट इज बेसिकली बीइंग डन इन ऑर्डर टू चेक दिस overall resiliency of the network system and the security that has been set up in the organization, or maybe somewhere wherever, like we have set up our digital infrastructure. But on top of that, if I have to do some malfunctioning onto these what you call the assets or maybe the systems, तो ये तो मेरा पर्सपेक्टिव हुआ ना, इसमें AI का कोई काम कुछ लेना देना नहीं है. I am well techy enough, I know how to code a good system or good engine which can very well replicate as an AI system, and therefore the capability of AI to hack upon the system or to change some data within the system, that is being done because of the code which is written there inside that AI system. It's not about the AI. Because in AI का अपना कोई दिमाग नहीं होता. दिमाग is given by us. The memory or the brain is given by us. It is not the system itself. So the best way is like time to time there must be some organization which should take proper action on that, so that like the people who are involved, or for every techie I would say, for every engineer, it is very much important to go through such sort of ethical training, the responsible side of using the AI and its applications, so that like such sort of crime must be controlled in the society. This is what I would say. उसमें कोई वैसा अब control कुछ नहीं है. Although we do have our cyber cell and all these things, these are already there. But on top of that, किसी के mindset को आप कैसे आप change करोगे? Mindset को proper अगर आप mentoring कर रहे हो, coaching कर रहे हो, then only it can be changed. It cannot be changed just like that. And again, I'm saying, AI does not have to do anything on that.
I'll just add a small point here. Subhajit very rightly said that it's human perspective and not AI per se. But just to give you some examples how industries and how companies build guardrails to avoid these things. Now, if you look at ChatGPT and other such LLM models, the way they are trained, there is a proper layer of RLHF, which is reinforcement learning human feedback. So there are proper humans in the loop who will go through the speech that has been generated by models like ChatGPT, and they will see if there is a hate speech or if there are abuses or things like that. Then there's a feedback loop where the model is retrained on top of it that this speech should be avoided. Because I think there were some instances, if you go through Google, where when people ask some questions in, abusive or non-acceptable language to the chatbot also started replying in the same way. So those things have happened in the past, but now the way, and again, it depends on the perspective, how you are training the model. So yes, organizations like ours and other organizations, big organizations, they do plan how to put guardrails on top of what we are developing using these models. They put some checks in the system. So this is how we are handling it practically as far as we can.
In addition of these two technical aspects, the one aspect, especially for the society, today I think it was studied today in our parliament, there was a new bill introduced, especially related to deep fake. So there is one part, like there is one government or there is such kind of models who are taking care. Yes, they understand that these all are the threats which you are saying in terms of cyber warfare or cyber threats or AI related deepfake activities. So yes, not at national level, at international level, United Nations and many other agencies are there who are understanding, and they are whenever such kind of unethical things are happening, they are there are organizations like Google and Facebook, they are also penalize them to adopt a system where these things can be, I would say, they can have a look on it, they can have a check on it, and they can analyze, yes, these all are the threats and how by using the technology it can be reduced. by that only you can move forward towards a just society. So along with the technical aspects, government and other agencies need to be take care, and by the time when our society is getting advanced, now we are speaking about society 5.0. So yes, this will be the threats which you are saying, but additionally there will be checks on these things by the government and other society, so that everyone can have a good time, and that person or who are living into society, they can live peacefully and understand the human value. That is from my perspective.
Perfect. I think, as I said in my part, that whether you drive technology or technology drive you, that what we have to decide. We'll take a pause here, and I could see many people are raising hands for questions. Maybe after this, panels will be available here for some more time. You could come and ask us a question. We'll put it a pause here in the interest of time, and I'll request the presenter to please come and take it the ceremony towards the closure. Thank you so much.
Thanks to all the panelists for answering and clearing the doubts of our young and creative minds. Now it is both an honor and pleasure to briefly acknowledge an individual who truly needs no introduction, Professor Sanjeev Singh, Director DUCC and Dean FOT, who steers our ship, inspires us with exceptional leadership, guiding us through challenges and fostering collaborations. Sir, I request you to please felicitate our esteemed speakers of the day. We have with us Mr. Subhajit Bhattacharya. Sir, please, Mr. Subhajit. Mr. Sagar Radhi. Ms. Sonam Sharma. Dr. Rahul. Mr. Abhinandan Pandey. Mr. Jitendra. Sir, now may I request you to please address the gathering?
No. Everything has been done. So I think the tea is waiting outside.
Please come forward for a group photograph.